Welcome to your daily AI News Digest. Today is April 3rd, 2026. And today is a day that is absolutely going to go down in the history books for artificial intelligence. We saw a series of events that, frankly, have changed everything. It's been a day of unbelievable progress, but also profound warnings.
So let's get right to our lead story. And it all starts with this one. Truly staggering number. That's a minus sign in front of $800 billion. You heard that right. That is the amount of value that was wiped off the global market today, all triggered by a single announcement that sent shockwaves through the entire industry.
So here's what we're tracking for you. We'll start with that $800 billion AI pause and the market chaos it created. Then, we'll look at how other companies are pushing ahead, anyway, with incredibly powerful new frontier models. We're also seeing nations scrambling to build their own digital fortresses, plus a huge breakthrough that's finally giving robots a real brain. And to top it all off, there's a major civil war brewing in Washington over who gets to control this technology.
All right, let's dive right in. We have to start with that market crisis. So, what happened? One of the biggest names in AI, Anthropic, made a move today that no one saw coming, and it had an immediate, and I mean severe, financial impact around the world. And this is the bombshell they dropped. They basically said, you know what? Our current safety techniques just aren't good enough for the next generation of AI. Think about that. Citing major safety concerns, Anthropic has hit the pause button on developing its future models. They're essentially admitting that the industry's ability to make these things bigger has outpaced its ability to actually control them.
And the reaction from the market? It was swift and it was brutal. I mean, just look at these numbers. The damage was everywhere. NVIDIA, the company whose chips basically power this entire revolution, took an absolutely massive hit. We're talking a loss of over $230 billion in value in just one day. But it wasn't just them. The pain spread across the whole ecosystem. You see major players like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google all bleeding billions.
Now, to put this all into perspective, you have to understand this is a huge deal. This is the first time, really, in this whole AI boom, that the fear of the risk has actually outweighed the hunger for more power. It's a direct shot at that classic Silicon Valley mantra of move fast and break things. This could be signaling a major shift to a much more cautious, safety-first world.
But here's where the story gets really wild. This is the central paradox of the day, because while one major player is slamming on the emergency brake over safety, another part of the industry is hitting the accelerator, making these technological leaps that, honestly, felt like science fiction just yesterday. So you've got these two big trends happening at the exact same time. On one side, you have this relentless race to just get bigger, to scale up. We learned that Anthropic's now pause model was on track to hit 10 trillion parameters. But on the other side, you've got these incredible breakthroughs in efficiency, making models smarter, not just bigger. It's kind of like the difference between giving a student a bigger library to memorize versus actually teaching them how to think critically and write a brilliant novel on their own.
And despite the drama, we still got to look at the new state-of-the-art models. Even though it's paused, we saw details on Anthropic's Claude Mythos 5, which looks to be a beast in cybersecurity. Then there's OpenAI's GPT 5.4, which is built from the ground up for economic and financial tasks. And maybe most impressive, Google's Gemini 3.1, which is a master of multimodal reasoning. It doesn't just understand text, it gets images, audio, and video all at the same time.
So what does this actually mean for us, for the people using these tools? Well, it's pretty fascinating. As these AI systems get more and more autonomous, the key human skill is changing. It's shifting away from traditional coding to something people are calling agent orchestration. Basically, your job becomes articulating a complex goal. You might just tell the AI, hey, launch a full marketing campaign for our new product in Southeast Asia, and the system itself will figure out all the steps and just do it.
And of course, technology this powerful isn't just something for corporations to fight over. This race is now playing out on the global stage. Which brings us to the geopolitical side of things, where AI is quickly becoming a critical piece of national security.
And the big headline here? $10 billion. That's how much Microsoft is investing in Japan over the next 4 years. It's a huge deal, a massive package designed to completely overhaul the country's AI and cloud infrastructure.
But this is about so much more than just new data centers. This is about control. It's about sovereignty. By making sure that Japanese data stays on Japanese soil, processed by the latest and greatest NVIDIA chips, Japan is essentially building what experts are calling sovereign AI. It's this idea that a nation needs to have its own independent ability to create and control its own AI destiny.
Now, this push for control isn't just happening in the digital world. It's moving into the physical world too. And that brings us to our next big story, where we're seeing another huge barrier being broken. These incredibly powerful AI models are finally getting a body. They're merging with robotics.
Yeah, and this really explains the massive shift that's happening. For the longest time, robots have been rule-based. Think about a factory arm that does the exact same weld over and over, a million times. We are now moving to context-based robots. These are systems that can walk into a messy, unpredictable kitchen, see a spill on the floor, and figure out on their own the best way to clean it up. It's a total game changer.
And the jump in performance is, well, it's just staggering. There's a new model that came out today called Gen 1. And look at these numbers. It's hitting a 99% success rate on tasks. It's 3 times faster. But here's the kicker. It can learn a brand new physical task with just 1 hour of data. It used to take weeks or even months to train a robot for something new. This isn't just an upgrade. This is the beginning of the true general-purpose robot.
So when you have AI getting this smart and robots getting this capable, the big question becomes, who's in charge? Who gets to write the rules? And in the United States right now, that is a huge point of conflict.
And the conflict really boils down to this. The White House wants a single national set of rules, what's called federal preemption. They argue it's the only way to keep innovation moving. But the states, they're not waiting, they're pushing back hard, with 78 different AI-related bills currently on the books, trying to tackle very specific local problems like deepfakes or bias in algorithms. And if you look at just a few examples here, you can see how diverse these state laws are. Tennessee is focused on AI and mental health. Washington is worried about protecting your digital likeness. South Carolina is targeting addictive social media. For any company trying to do business across the country, this is turning into a regulatory minefield. The rules in one state are completely different from the next.
So let's step back. What does all of this mean when you put it together? When you look at all these conflicting stories from just one day, a new picture of the future of AI starts to take shape. And it's one that's full of just incredible progress, but also very real peril.
Really, today has been a day of total paradox. We've seen these unbelievable technical breakthroughs all happening while the market is in a free fall because of safety fears. It's like the entire industry slammed on the accelerator and the emergency brake at the exact same time.
And that's why today is so important. The old era, that growth at all costs mindset, well, that seems to be over. Things like safety, national sovereignty, and government regulation, these aren't just topics for discussion anymore. As of today, they are the main forces driving the entire future of AI. They're front and center.
It seems like the next chapter of AI won't be defined by who has the most powerful computers. It's going to be defined by who can actually align that power with human values and intentions. The big question, for everyone, has shifted. It's no longer, can we build this? The question now is, can we control it?